What's up, lover girls? It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, lover girls. I am so happy that you're able to join me on today. First thing I want to share with you is come on and join my live masterclass. I have a weekly masterclass that I am bringing back that I used to do in 2021. I used to do it in 2021 and I'm bringing it back. It got some tweaks to it, got some new additions and all the good things and stuff. Yes. And so this masterclass is called The 3 Secrets of Attracting Multiple High Quality Men who provide, protects, and pursue you for marriage or whatever your desired constellation so that you can choose your legacy partner, your life partner in as early as a year. So here's what you're going to learn. You're going to learn how to finally create real romantic options so that you're in a position to choose instead of waiting to be chosen. You're going to go from, you're going to learn how to go from no dates to a wedding date in early as a year, if that's what you want. And the simple shift that would allow you to begin attracting quality men as soon as this week, no matter where you live, no matter what your zip code is. An inside look at my bomb-ass framework that inspires men to commit to you without you over-investing, without you feeling thirsty or using pick-me tactics. And then the biggest mistakes that women make that have them drained, frustrated, and overwhelmed with dating. So if you're interested in joining that masterclass, I do encourage you to register at the link in my bio. You can go to the link in my bio. Let me see if I can link it to you guys here in the chat. You can go to the link in my bio, or I wonder if I can pin this comment. Can I pin this? I don't know how to pin that. Oh, here you go. You can go to that link and sign up for my masterclass. What's up, Shruti? Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Where are y'all watching from? Let me know where you guys watching from. And please make sure that you share with at least one friend. Make sure you share this live with at least one friend. So today, what I want to talk about is 3 ways that you can have conversations with men that lead to commitment. And the reason why I want to have this conversation with you guys is because I don't know who listened to my last podcast episode. What's up, Montana, New Jersey, Los Angeles, Detroit? What's going on? Put a 1 in the comments if you listened to my last podcast episode. And the podcast was about having deeper conversations with men. Okay? It was about having deeper conversations with men. So put a 1 in the comments if you have seen it. Listen to it. Put 1 in the comments if you listened to it. And, okay, cool. You guys have listened to it. All right, good. I'm sorry, guys. So I'm like, okay, well, let me go live. Let me talk about something very practical that you guys can start implementing immediately. If you listen to the podcast and you're like, okay, I want to have deeper conversations with men. I want to have more meaningful conversations with men. And so this live isn't like a tactic to be like you say these words and he's gonna commit. I don't know if you guys have seen those videos or those ads and you're like, if you say these 3 little words, he will fall all over you and commit. If you say give these 2 sentences, he's gonna fall over. So it's none of that. But what I do know is when we are creating meaningful, deep, authentic conversations with men, that leads to connection, emotional bonding, and eventually to the point where someone's like, okay, like there's trust here, there's intimacy here, there's closeness here. I want to move forward with this woman. I want to get to know this woman exclusively because I feel safe here. I feel seen here. I feel heard here. I feel understood here when I'm communicating with this woman. That's the type of environments that we want to create. So, the first thing that you should do is you should be genuine. Now, that seems self-explanatory, like, Torah, duh. Duh. Of course you should be genuine. Who isn't genuine? Most humans. Most of us women of faith are not genuine. And what I mean by genuine is, I don't mean that you're being fake. I don't mean that you're being untrustworthy. What I mean is, when a lot of us are interacting with men, the thought process is, can he be my man? Is he boyfriend material? Is he husband material? Is he going to call me more? Is he going to text me? Is he going to be consistent? Is he going to be intentional? Is this going to move into a relationship? Is he interested in moving me to a relationship? So it's all centered around your relationship goals and what you want for yourself and how this man can provide it to you. It's disingenuous to the relationship. It's disingenuous to the connection that you are attempting to create with this man. Because it's not about who is he. What do I want to learn about him? What is he inspired by? What does he love to learn? My favorite, what lights him up? What puts a smile on his face? What is something he wants to get done by the end of this week, no matter what? What is he most looking forward to? What are some things that motivate him? How does he define himself being a man? How does he want to show up as a man? What are his deal breakers? What is his non-negotiables for living? What are his core values? What are his ethics? Not my ethics. Not my values. A lot of times we're trying to figure out, okay, does he align with my ethics? Does he align with my values? Does he align with my faith? We're only looking to learn about his ethics, values, and faith because we're trying to see if we're a good match. That's the agenda. It's disingenuous. Versus, even if we're not a good match, I just want to know. I'm just very curious. I want to know what kind of impact is made in your life. I want to know how it inspires you to be a better person. I want to know. I want to know what keeps you up at night. I want to know what makes you excited to get out of the bed in the morning. I just want to know. And those genuine connections, those genuine conversations have no attachment to the outcome. Those genuine conversations do not feel needy. Like, I need this to happen. I need us to continue to talk on the phone. I need us to continue to go on dates. I need us to continue to progress into an exclusive relationship. It's absent from that. There was no I need. This genuine conversation, it doesn't have, there's validation here. I just need your validation. I need you to like me. Do you like me? Are we going to create something together? It doesn't have that. Because it's genuine. It's I want to get to know you even if we don't end up in a relationship. I want to get to know you even if I'm not speaking to you next month. I am not thinking the only reason why I want to get to know you is so I can have a relationship with you. If I can see if you're my boyfriend. Because when you do that, there's no connection. Because what happens is the men do not feel seen, heard, and understood. They can feel that you simply want to push things along, that you're really attached to stuff moving along, and you don't really care about who he is as a man. They can feel it the same way as women we can feel when men are only wanting to get to know us because they want to have sex with us. Yeah, they'll talk on the phone. They might take us on dates, but we can sense when a man is not really interested in getting to know us. We can sense that, yeah, girl, he just wants to have sex with me. That's about it. That's it. I get it. That's what we know. And so we're just like, yeah, I feel it. He just wants to have sex with me. It's not genuine. He's not talking to me on the phone because it's genuine. He's not taking me out because it's genuine. He really wants to get some coochie. So the first thing, the first tip is to be genuine. The first tip to create conversations that lead to commitment is to be genuine. If that makes sense to you, put a 1 in the comments. If the first point makes complete sense to you, if there are questions that you have, please put it in the Q&A box so that I can come to it later. If you put them in the chat, I might miss it. I don't want to miss them, so make sure you put them in the Q&A box. Okay? So if it makes sense to you, put a 1 in the comments. Okay, awesome to hear, guys. Thank you. True Diva says, I really have these in-depth and genuine conversations. I love it. All right, all of these 1s. Okay, cool. Cool. So the second, look at TJ. Hey, boo. The second point I want to make, the second tip I want to make to create a conversation that leads to commitment is be curious. That ties into being genuine. Be curious about these men. Again, we're so concerned about our relationship goals that there isn't any true curiosity. We'll ask things to move the conversation along. We'll say, yeah, hey, where are you from? And a lot of times we're not even really curious about that. That's not where our curiosity lies. We might want to know more about how has his environment shaped him versus where are you from? And then talk about the street that he lived on, or talk about like how long he's lived in a city. Like if you really think about what you're really curious about, what would you ask instead? Instead of asking the questions that everybody asks, instead of asking the questions that everyone is expected to say. Because we're not really curious, we're just trying to make progress. How can we move this along? How can we make progress? How can we move this towards a commitment, towards a date versus like, I want to be curious here. So for example, this shows up when a guy, like if you're talking, and let's just say you answer a question from him and then he responds back. And instead of digging into what he just said, you go off on your own tangent. So for example, you're like, yeah, do you travel? And he was just like, yeah, I just got back from Istanbul. And so instead of asking and getting curious about his trip in Istanbul, you were like, oh yeah, I went to Istanbul too. I went last year and I did this in Istanbul. It was such a great time. And of course, on the surface level, it sounds like, oh, you're having a great conversation. There's exclamation points. There's emojis. There's just a lot of words happening. But you were not really curious about his trip in Istanbul. You didn't ask him. What did he learn while he was there? What was he most excited about while he was there? Like, what's one thing that he did in Istanbul? If he didn't do anything else, it would have been worth the trip's weight in gold. We're not curious. We don't care. It's like, okay, how do I move this connection along? How do I say something else to keep the conversation moving? Versus digging in to what this man shared with you. I remember there was a client I had a couple years ago. And she was like, Torah, I don't know what's happening. I'm asking really great questions. I'm asking really insightful questions, and things are just not working out. And I was just like, okay, send me the screenshots, girl. Send them to me. So I got the screenshots, and I was like, ma'am. I got them screenshots, and she asked a question that I suggest a lot of women ask a man. Like, hey, like, besides me, we'll put a smile on your face today, right? She asked him that, right? That's one of my go-tos. She asked him that. And so he goes, oh yeah, I just had an ice cream cone. Like, that put a really big smile on my face. She was like, oh, okay. What's the highlight of your week so far? And I'm like, yo, this is where you're messing up. Because you on here trying to reach a goal, baby. You are over here trying to reach a goal and trying to move the conversation along. Why were you not curious about him, this grown man, eating an ice cream? I think it's very endearing. I think it's very interesting that ice cream put a smile on his face. Why aren't we asking about the flavors? Why aren't we asking why he loves the ice cream? Why? Okay? She skipped right past the ice cream. She didn't care. She was not curious. She wasn't curious. And I say, this is why things aren't working out for you, is because none of this is curious. Actually, this isn't even genuine. You're trying to check off the box because you read my book. You're trying to check off the box because you heard, you got a few tips of what to ask men or what to talk about to men, and you're just trying to throw them together. That's like if I teach you, okay, here are the ingredients to make bread. And you just get the dough together, you get the milk, the ingredients to throw together. And you're like, Torah, what happened? The bread didn't make, it isn't right. And I was just like, did you let the dough rise? Did you let the dough sit and rise? Or did you just throw everything together and put it in the oven? You were just trying to reach a goal. You were not trying to build relationship with the dough. You are not allowing it space to rise. You didn't create an environment for the dough to do its thing. You were like, okay, how do I get in the oven so that it can brown, it can cook, and I can have it? You're not curious. And that's why your conversations are... That's why men are not, like, if we're looking for conversations that lead to commitment, though, like, we need to be curious. If this second point makes sense to you, put a 2 in the comment section, and then make sure that you're sharing. Share it to at least one friend. Share it to a group DM chat you have going on with your friends. Share this out. Let the people hear this information. And then the pinned link that I have here at the bottom is a link to my masterclass that I'm hosting tomorrow, April 13th at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'd love to have you. I'd love to have you in the room. Okay? Okay, cool. You guys get it. Good. The third point I want to make, for you to create conversations that lead to commitment, that lead to connection, is to be intentional. So we said be genuine, be curious. Now we're on be intentional. And when I say intentional, a lot of people think that means, oh yeah, intentionally into a relationship, intentionally into exclusivity. That's not what I mean by intentional. What I mean by intentional is knowing your why for saying words. So many times we're saying words to men and we don't know why they are being said. I'm going to give you a good example of my clients. So we have new clients coming in, and even on dating profiles, like, it's very important. And she posted on the profile that there are, what did she say about phases of the moon? Like, she watches the phases of the moon. And I'm like, why? Why do we want men to know that? Another young lady was like, I love tacos. I said, why do we want the men to know that we love tacos? And she said, I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I love tacos. I said, but why do you want the men to know that you love tacos? Like, why is that so important to take up real estate on your profile, on your mind? Like, what is the purpose of that? I will read screenshots of conversations between these queens and the men that they're dating, and they'll ask certain questions to the men, or they say certain things, and I'm like, why did you say that? Y'all know how many times these women are like, I don't know. I don't know why I said it, Torah. I don't know why I asked him this. I don't know why I said this to him. I just figured it was a good thing to say. And it's just like, yo, you got to understand your why behind your words. Why are the things coming out of your mouth coming out of your mouth? Why are the things you're texting out? Why are you doing it? And if you don't know why, stop texting. If you don't know why, get off the phone. Because at this point, it's a bunch of mumbo jumbo extra stuff you do not need. Let it go. Because you're no longer building connection at this point. You're just doing things. Doing things does not create connection. Why? What do you want to know more about? What are you curious about? How does this help you understand him more? Like, what is your why behind all of this? Understanding your why behind your words will cut y'all hour conversations down to 15 minutes. Because a lot of us are on the phone saying words, and we don't know why. Like, hey, why did you tell this man that you were running errands all day? And that you were like, why did you tell him that? Why did you tell him that these are all the things that you were doing? Like, what was the purpose of that? What do you need him to know? What do you need him to know at this point? You're just saying things. Like, do you just want him to know that you're busy? Was that your way to throw hints that you're busy? Or can you just say, like, hey, I'm usually a well-scheduled woman. I'd love to go out on a date with you. These are the days that I am available to go because I am very well-scheduled. The why behind the reason why you would say that is because you want him to be very clear that this is what you're available for and this is what you're not available for. And you want to make time for him even though you're a well-scheduled woman. Know your whys behind your words. Just not saying stuff just to be saying things. So, if that made sense to you, put a 3 in the comment section. If that made sense, put a 3 in the comment section. Y'all, this mushroom coffee is life-giving. It has helped me replenish my this is not an ad. It has helped me replenish my energy after I got COVID. Like this, within a week. I drink 2 cups a day. So let's do a quick recap. To create conversations that lead to commitment with men, number one, be genuine, which means that your focus should not be on, hey, I'm having this conversation with you because I think you can be my man. I'm having this conversation with you because I'm trying to move us into a relationship. Be genuine because you are interacting with him because you are curious. You want to get to know him as a man. And if you guys are in alignment, that's a plus. That's icing. But right now I'm genuinely connecting with you, even if I don't see you tomorrow, even if I don't talk to you in weeks, even if we don't ever move into a relationship, I'm building a connection with you. 2, be curious. Be curious about who this man is. Be curious about the things in his life. Be curious about what he shares with you. Be curious about it all. Even if he doesn't become your man. Stop being so focused on what you want to create and be curious about who he is as a man. When a man tells you, you ask him, does he travel? And he says he's been to Istanbul. It is not your time to talk about how you went to Istanbul. Be curious about his trip. Get deeper. Ask questions. What did he learn on the trip? What inspired him about the trip? Get curious. He tells you ice cream put a smile on his face. What about the ice cream? Where does he like to buy his ice cream? What flavors? Get curious. Why does ice cream put a smile on his face? And 3, be intentional. Not intentionally to move you into a relationship, but know the why behind your words. Know why you're saying things. Know why you're asking things. So, that being said, I'm about to open the floor for questions. The questions need to be centered around what I taught today. Y'all, please don't get up here and be like, Torah, my man is treating me so bad and I need help. Ask questions about what we learned today, please. Someone asked about the brand of mushroom coffee. I can answer that. Rise Coffee. RHYZE. One of my clients actually recommended. I've been hooked on it since. She just joined the April cohort. I actually have to tell her that I've been hooked on this coffee ever since. And again, it's like 15% of the caffeine in regular coffee. So you can drink it throughout the day. There's no crash. There's no headaches. I just have some of the highest energy levels. And I know I used to be struggling to talk, to stay up during the day because COVID. I had got COVID for the first time and it was a struggle. But this mushroom coffee helped me. So let me go to the comment section. While I'm answering questions, put your greatest takeaway in the chat box from today. Someone asked, why do you think some women just really aren't genuinely curious about their potential partners? They're not genuinely curious because a lot of times there's an agenda. The agenda is, I want to move into a relationship. I need this man to make me feel safe. I need this man to make me feel comfortable. I need this man to take me on a date for me to feel better about myself. I need this man to get on the phone with me so I don't feel lonely. I need this man to go exclusive with me so that I know I'm making progress. The focus is the agenda of what I need this man to do so that I can feel like I'm moving forward in my love life, so that I feel like I'm not a failure in my love life. So therefore, they are simply going through with the motions to get them to that goal as quickly as possible, instead of slowing down in the present moment and saying, who are you? What are you about? Where do you come from? Where are you going? What are you evolving to? That's why. That's a really good question. It's a really good question. Exactly. Make me blush. Slow down during conversations. Once a question is answered, be curious about his answer. Ask him questions around that. You guys, you can literally have a 30-minute conversation off of the one thing that a man said. We already trying to move somewhere else. We don't need to do that. Gemini says, my greatest takeaway is know the why behind your words. Yes. Banks for a lifetime says, I love all these tips. They make sense. Awesome. Also, make sure that you share with your friends, and also remember to join the masterclass tomorrow. If you haven't been to one of my masterclasses, you should join me tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link is pinned here. Go ahead, share with your homegirls. Be like, look, girl, I already been to one of her masterclasses, but you need to go to this, because she is going to teach you what it looks like the secrets of attracting quality men. Multiple high quality men who provide, protect, and pursue you. You are going to learn how simple it is. I didn't say easy. I said simple. You're going to learn how simple it is to begin attracting multiple high quality men. All right. Oh, Maisha. Hi, Maisha boo. I love you, girl. Maya says it's okay to bring these questions on a notepad on a date. I don't know. Is it okay? Will bringing these questions on a notepad be an agenda to meet some goal? Will it be there? So, I got to make sure I'm right. Can you truly be curious if you have these on a notepad? Or can you just be in the present moment and just sit with what he's saying versus, okay, I got my questions. Let's make this conversation right. Let's do it right. Can you really be in a present moment that way? Can you truly be curious that way? Or will you be in your head about, okay, what's next? Let me check off the box. Just ask yourself. Because the reason why I'm sharing these questions is not for y'all to jot it down and bring it to a date. It's to get you thinking about how you show up with men presently, and it's going to be different with each man. You need to be in a present moment to pick up on that with each man and not wondering, how do I get it right? Because once you get here, it no longer becomes genuine. It becomes, how do I accomplish this goal? How do I check off the boxes so that I'm right in conversation? Be willing to be embarrassed. All right. Someone says, I'm going on a date tomorrow with this guy, and he's not easy to open up. That's because you're trying to open him up. Stop trying to open up and you open up. And when I say open up, I don't mean telling him your personal business. A lot of times we think telling our personal business or telling sensitive information or talking about our past is opening up. And a lot of times it's a distraction from what we really want to express. Like, are we really expressing how much we're excited about these guys? Are we really expressing how these men make us feel? Are we really expressing how much we love about these men? That's truly opening up. Or are we waiting for him to do it? Are we waiting for him to be like, oh my gosh, like, I love you. Or, oh my gosh, like, you're such a, one of the best women I've ever met. A lot of times we're waiting. We're not expressing ourselves. Be like, you know what? I freaking love when you call me. I get excited when you call me. Are we really truly opening up here? And we spend all of our time hiding while trying to pry men open. Open up. You need to open up. As long as you're trying to do that, it actually is going to feel it's going to feel unsafe. Just imagine the imagery of a man trying to open your legs when you don't want to have sex. That's intimate. That's intimacy that you're not ready to have. And the fact that he's trying to pry your legs open, it feels scary and aggressive. Think about that as you're trying to pry a man's heart open. It's scary to him and it's aggressive. So if you don't want anyone prying your legs open, stop trying to pry open men's hearts. It's aggressive to them. All right, let's go to the question box. Someone says, how do we respond when the men are the ones with the agenda? It depends on what the agenda is. It depends on what you want as a woman. It depends on what you're available for and what you're not available for. It depends on what you want to experience. All this depends. There are no cookie cutter answers here. Because a man can have an agenda and you might be down for it. Let's just say the man has an agenda for sex. You might be like, okay, yeah, I want to participate. And that might be his agenda. I don't know how to take, like, you respond how you want to respond. If the man has an agenda and the agenda is focused on moving you into a relationship and you feel like he's not getting to know you, then express that. Just express it. Just express it and say, hey, we've gone on 3 dates now, and when I'm with you, I do not feel like you see me for me, and you're genuinely trying to connect with me and who I am as a woman. What I do feel is that you love the idea of me in a relationship. Okay? Y'all, please put y'all questions in the question box. So it just depends on who you are as a woman as to how you respond if men have an agenda. You might be down for the agenda. You might not. You might want to reroute. I don't know what that is for you. Ma'am, Jessica, I don't even want to answer this for you because you know better than this. How do you ask a male friend that you are interested and want to explore dating? Jessica, I'm about to log off this app because you already know the answer to this. Why is this being asked? He's expressed interest in the past, but I wasn't there yet. Basically communicate my feelings, but we hang out, but I do realize I do want more time with him, and today I've been waiting for him. Jessica, I don't even want to answer that question because you know better. Like you know way too much to be sending me a question like this on IG Live. I'm not even doing it because you know the answer to that. It's just, no, I'm not doing it. Right now, you're mentally masturbating. Someone says, how do you respond when men don't ask engaging questions back to you? I don't know. You guys are still looking for me to tell you what to do. Instead of asking yourself, what do I want? How am I showing up? So if a man isn't asking engaging questions, there could be a myriad of reasons why that is. It could be the fact that you're not, like, some women think that they're engaging and they're not. They'll ask like 3 sentences of questions and it's like overkill. It's not engaging, it's actually paralyzing. That's one. Because if you ask me some paralyzing questions too, I'm going to be like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that with you. Secondly, it could be a man who doesn't have the capacity to ask you engaging questions. And therefore, you are spending a lot of time with a man who just doesn't have a capacity to do it. And instead of actually communicating with men who can do it, you want to talk to this guy. Okay? So ask yourself, am I really communicating with men who have the capacity to do this? And are my questions truly engaging? That matters. I will have, like, women have bought my book and they'll be like, Torah, I asked these questions and he's still not opening up. He's still not doing this. He's still not doing that. And I asked for the screenshots. Sometimes these women are not even, they remixing my questions to be something unrecognizable. Or two, they're asking men who clearly do not have the capacity to answer these questions. I'm like, why did you even match with him? I looked at his bio, all his pictures, him in the car with a seatbelt on, and his bio is like, I love tacos, and you swipe right, and now you're trying to create a conversation of depth with the man who wrote on the only thing that's on his profile is him in a seatbelt in his car, and he's saying, I love tacos. Why are we trying to create conversations with these men? It clearly showed you up front they didn't have the capacity for it, unless there's something in you that don't have the capacity for these types of conversations either. Someone says, do you think it's okay to ask a man on a date? I don't know. Is it okay? Y'all want my permission to do things. What do you want to do? Some people will say, girl, never. Never. I have guidelines and recommendations. I will never say it's not okay to ask a man on a date. Like, I would never do that. Queen Kidon says, if he's your boyfriend, yes, but if not, then no. Yeah, I don't give rules. You see, she gave a rule. I don't do that. I don't tell grown people what to do. I believe in autonomy. Every woman here is on their own journey and they have autonomy. You do whatever the hell you want to do. And if it works out for you, fine. If it doesn't, you learned a lesson. You're able to fine tune certain things. I will provide my recommendation. My recommendation is that you invite men you invite men for pursuit. You let men know what your desire is, right? The feminine expresses their desire and the masculine executes on it. So my recommendation is to, whenever you're able to express your desire clearly, you actually won't have to ask men on dates. If you're able to express very clearly that I am a woman that stays in connection with men that take me out on dates, you won't have to ask. If you're a woman who expresses that she's interested in a guy, say, hey, I actually like you. I would love to get to know you better. Expressing the desire, okay? Expressing the desire of, hey, we've been talking for 2 days on the phone. I enjoy talking to you on the phone. And if you want to stay connected, I go out on dates with men who want to be connected to me. That's how we stay connected. I would like for you to invite me on a date. I would like for you to plan a date. I would like for you to take me out on a date. You see the reframe here? It's to express the desire. Because here's the thing. There are plenty of men who have asked women out on dates and they were like, I don't even know you yet. We just started talking. I want to feel more safe. Can we talk on the phone for another week before I'm more comfortable? And so men are like, I don't know what the hell to do. I don't know what to do here because I just asked this woman out on the date. She didn't want to go out because she felt like it was too early. And now this woman is mad because I waited. I didn't know if she was ready to go on a date. Why don't women just tell me what they want? Okay? Why don't you just express to men what you're available for, what you're not available for, what you would like to do, how you would like to stay connected, what it takes to stay connected to you, and then you won't have to ask. Express your desire. Allow men to execute it, because other than that, the men are going to pull away because you're not making it clear and easy for him to know what are you available for, because there's plenty of women who do not think like you. They do not want to go out on dates as soon as you. They don't want to get off the app as soon as you. They got trust issues. They got trauma going on. They scared. So then they show up to men. Okay? Someone says, that used to be me with my excessive boundaries. Once I let that go, everything changed. Girl, that sounds like a wall. Someone says, some people will take you asking them as if you're paying. That is true. But that ain't got nothing to do with you. It sounds like a personal problem. If you take that to mean that I'm paying, then we're out of alignment. But I don't not express my desire because I think you're going to take that mean that I'm paying. I don't play them types of games. I am very expressive, and you will know what the guideline is, what the standard is. And if you think that I'm paying, then we're out of alignment. I had men say that to me before. I've had men say that, well, you know, you must be paying because you brought it up. And I'll be like, oh, we're not in alignment. It was very nice meeting you. It was very nice connecting, but we are complete. That's it. A lot of times we try to avoid that stuff instead of just expressing like, not a good fit. We try to avoid this type of stuff so that stuff doesn't happen. Don't try to avoid that stuff. Express what you're available for and what you're available for. And if that man thinks that means that you're paying, sir, it was nice to meet you, but this is where we end. Have a good one. Someone says, I'm very expressive with my desires. Now I sleep extremely well at night, whether he fulfills my desires or not. We're not out here playing with ourselves, with our desires, with these men. We're being very intentional about what we want and how we want to show up, so we can get our needs met and our desires fulfilled. Is there any questions before I get off? I want to remind you to sign up for the Masterclass. The link is at the bottom. Hey, Nisha. Y'all, Nisha washes and conditions and dyes my hair. She dyed my hair for the first time. I got my hair dyed for the first time a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to her, my loctician. BW Beauty says, I was in a 10-year relationship. We broke up 6 months ago. Do you recommend therapy for a while? Before I start dating again, I would like to get married. I recommend doing whatever you're ready for. I recommend doing whatever you are ready for. If you are ready to date, date. A lot of times we get so locked into what the world is saying, like, oh girl, that was too long. That was too long. You need to take some time. You need to take a long. It's not the time. It's the capacity. Do you have the capacity to date? Then do so. Do you? And you can date and go to therapy. I recommend do whatever you're ready for, but here's what I will say. There's certain things you'll never discover about yourself. There's certain traumas you'll never uncover until you are interacting with the opposite sex. Until you are dating, until you are in relationship with the opposite sex. Multiple men. Because there's certain men that are going to pull triggers that were not there, that you didn't see before. So that's what I will say, that these men, dating these men will pull things out of you that you didn't know was there before. So that would be my recommendation for, like, what are you ready for now? I encourage you to do whatever you're ready for. I am not here to tell you, girl, you need to just heal for a year. Like, girl, do what you're ready for. This is your journey. These are your lessons. I don't tell grown people what to do. I do provide my recommendations. Someone says, hey, Nakesia Boo. Someone says, I'm 43, but I've always only attracted younger men. Y'all see, y'all done took me away from the topic of the Q&A stuff. I told y'all not to ask me questions like this. I said, I'm not answering. Look at me answering these questions. All right, this is the last one I'm going to ask because it has nothing to do with the topic at hand. Someone says, I'm 43, but I've always only attracted younger men. I've never dated someone my age. I'm told I look young. How can I meet men my age or older? I mean, there is a fallacy here that younger men are a problem. I would explore that fallacy as to why you think younger men are a problem. That's one thing. I know, like, my clients will come in, they be like, Torah, I'm older. And I'm like, so what? Well, he's younger. He doesn't. I'm like, what does that mean? Unless you're talking about somebody who is 4 generations away and they're underage. The age isn't the issue. The alignment is. And if you have never taken the time to see if you are in alignment, then you wouldn't know. A lot of us need these young boys to open us up. We so stuffy. A lot of us just need to have some fun, to lighten up. But if you want to meet men that are older, why don't you go online and set your settings to just older men? That's super easy. Okay? So I'm out of here. That's all the questions. I am out of here. Y'all sign up for the masterclass. Bye. I'm going to share this live in my feed so y'all can rewatch it later on.